What is going on, guys? If your brake sounds like this, your brake pads are probably worn out and it's rubbing on metal just like how I am. So today I'm going to be changing out all the rotors and brake pads on this black Lexus RX330. It just sounds really bad when I'm like driving. You can hear the metal scraping against the brake pads because, well, I mean, there's no more brake pads left, and every time I brake it just okay. Anyways, it's not safe. If you guys have this kind of issue, change out your brake pads right away. You want to have good stopping power, and you don't want to get into any kind of accident because you just don't have any brakes. So I'm going to my cousin's place right now because he has a jack and all the tools and a space for me to work on. So I'm gonna go there right now and show you what I'm working with, where I got the brake pads, so the rotors, everything from. So these are the rotors and the brake pad sets that I got. These are from Power Stop. Got these all as a set. So 2 front rotors, 2 rear rotors, front brake pads right here, this one, and the rear brake pads I got. It also includes these the hardwares and some lube. So I got all of these from Amazon for like around $170, which is a pretty good deal. Power Stops make some pretty good brakes, so I use them on my other daily. For my Infiniti FX35 I used Power Stops before and they did pretty good. These brake pads, however, they're ceramic. They do have a lot of brake dust, so that's the only thing that's going to make your wheels look a lot more dirty after a few drives. So I mean, I'm not too worried about this one because this is going to be a daily, but overall it should give a pretty good stopping power at a good affordable price. So I'll link these down in the description below if you want to purchase them. So yeah, I'm going to take out the old ones and swap into the new ones. Let's go. All right, these are the old rotors. As you can see, they're pretty bad. So I'm gonna be swapping out the old rotors, brake pads. I'm gonna try to clean this up using a wire brush. And I believe these slider pins are seized. So I'm gonna try to take them out, try to clean them up and re-lube them. So to remove the calipers, I'm gonna be removing this one first. You're gonna have to loosen up these 2 bolts right here, which is 14 millimeters. There's one up top right here, and should be another one on the bottom right here. So try to loosen them out, and then this can be slide out. This kind of helps loosen it up if it's too tight. So I'm just gonna place this right over here, just so I don't give any stress on these brake lines. That should be good. Here's the old brake pads. As you can see, this is from the back side, this is the front. There's still a good amount of wear and brake pads left, but then you can see that there's an uneven wear, and that's a good indication that the slider pins are not good. You probably have to re-lube them or they're seized up, so I'm going to show you how to fix that. You can see the rotors are pretty bad. I'm going to try to clean up these old calipers. But let's see these slider pins. This one's okay, still able to move. The bottom one, however, this one is seized up. I mean, it's not too bad, but you can see it's not moving or sliding as easily as the one on the top. So these are the slider pins. I pulled them right out, and I just kind of clean them up with some brake cleaner. Just spray it down, just wipe it out. And for this, I'm gonna make sure that it goes back inside nice and smoothly. But as you can see, I'm gonna have to try to clean up the inside. Just keep working back and forth, trying to get that smooth, and just keep on wiping it. So I did that on the bottom. It's a little bit better. So I kind of wire brushed these so it looks a little bit cleaner. I'm gonna try to do a little bit more after with this one, but now I'm going to be removing this caliper bracket, and what's holding it is just these two 17mm bolts right behind. And then once that's taken out, I can remove this rotor. Doing brake pads is by far the easiest maintenance, well, besides oil changes. This is the second, but you can usually save yourself so much money just doing this yourself. It takes a while.
Do it all corners.
Yeah. Hard. I mean, if you got the weekend to do it, you'll save yourself a lot of money too. Here are the front new ones. Super clean. They're kind of covered in oil right now, so I'm just going to clean them up with the brake cleaner. All right, now let's put this caliper bracket back on. Now I had to push this this piston back in so I can put in the new brake pad. So you're gonna want to use this tool, which pretty much like uses to press in the pistons. So what I'm gonna do is kind of use the old brake pad, the thinnest one, if you can. Just gonna place this one right there. I don't know if you can see it better on the camera. So this is the old brake pad, and this goes over in between these two empty spaces, and you want to just keep turning this until the piston pushes back kind of near flush with this this caliper piece right here, this back piece. So you want to just keep on turning it and turn until this pushes back. So as you can see, I kind of pushed it all the way in. Hopefully this should be enough, but if not, we're gonna push it in some more. But let's put in the new brake pads. So this is the front brake pads, and it came with these little metal hardware. So I'm gonna be swapping it out with this old one. New hardware is in. Now let me show you the comparison of the old brake pads. This is the old brake pad and the new one. You see how much more brake pads there are. So definitely need to change them out. So let's just put these in. Just look how much better they look now. So after that, I am going to put this back on. Before that, I'm gonna re-lube these slider pins. And what I'm gonna be using, this Silk Glide brake lubricant. So let's just get the slider pins. Make sure to clean one last time. Wipe it down. Just put some on there. And just kind of rub it in. Once it's in, just keep pulling it in and out. Just get those lubricants moving. As you can see, it just slides in and out so much easier than before. So this is going to help with the even brake pad wear. So let's do the top. Same thing, let's wipe it down one last time. Just push it in, up and down. All right, now we put in the caliper back on. Just a quick little update. So I got both of the fronts are done, new rotors, new brake pads. Now I'm working on the rears. I already took out the rotors. As you can see, these are pretty bad shape. It's weird because I got these replaced. I replaced them about 5 years ago, maybe about 30-40K. So it's been driven quite hard, I guess. You can see is not in good shape anymore. These are actually OEM Lexus rotors. So this time I'm getting the power stop, and let's see how they perform. It's a pretty straightforward. It's the same kind of bolts. The size of the bolts is exactly the same as the fronts. The one that's holding the calipers is 17 millimeters, and then this one, the pistons that goes into the caliper bracket, is a 14 millimeter. So it's exact same size for the fronts. And I'm just gonna re-lube the slider pins as well. All right, so I'm working on the last rotor. I can already tell that this is the one that's making the squealing sound. As you can see from the rotor, it is really bad. Like, I don't think the brake pads were even like gripping on the rotors or anything. So let's remove these calipers and the brake pads, and let's see how bad the brake pads are worn down to. This is like the worst one of all the 4 sides. So I believe, like I said, this is the one that's making the squealing sound every time when I press on the brake. So if you guys see this kind of pattern or rotors on your car, change it out immediately. Get the caliper service. I'm eventually going to replace this whole entire caliper set, just because I can see like the pistons and the grommet, the rubbers are all worn out. This is a 150,000 mile car, so it's definitely need to get some serviced. All right, guys, this just happened. The last bolt, the last side that I had to work on, of course, the bolt had to snap off on me. So the bolt, that's the slider pins that's holding the caliper into the caliper bracket. As I was turning it, it just snapped off. So this is the bottom piece of the slider pin. So the other half is inside here. So I'm just gonna try to figure out how I'm going to get that out. Worst case, I might have to just get a whole new set of this. All right, so it looks like this slider pin is completely seized in there. So that's why I wasn't even able to turn. And once I turned it, it just snapped it off. So there's no way for me to get this out. I tried using a plier, couldn't pull this out. Pretty hard. If it snapped off while I was using the wrench, then there's no way for me to take that out by hand with a vice grip or anything. So worst case, I'm just gonna have to probably get this caliper bracket. So I just got out of AutoZone. Luckily they have the caliper bracket. I called Advanced Auto Parts, they don't have that. So luckily the store is like literally 2 minutes away, so it wasn't that far. So got a whole new caliper bracket, and I'm gonna need also the rubber boots. So that's what I got. It's a kit. So I got the rubber boots right here, as well as these caliper guide pins. So hopefully this will be good. I mean, this costs $55.10, so that's gonna set me back. Sucks because it was the last caliper and the brakes that need to be done, and one little bolt set me back $55. So I mean, that's what happens when you working on a car that's 150,000 miles. Things tend to break. So I mean, for $55, it's not so bad. So all right, let's go back home and let's put this on, see how it fits. All right, so here we have the caliper bracket, and we have to put the grommet right over here. So we just need 2 of these and one of this. This goes into the caliper guide pin. This actually has another set for the other side, so I'm just gonna keep this for next time. So this is the rubber that goes onto the bottom piece. So let's just push that in. There you have it. The other one doesn't have it, but let's put these rubber pieces on. You want to put these rubber grommets, the boots, with this fat piece on the bottom. That goes to the bracket right here. It's going to be kind of hard to put this in, so I might have to put some lubricant. Yeah, I'm going to put some lube in here. So I'm going to be using the Glide. I recommend using this because I heard that the other kind of brands like Permatex, what happens is that they make the rubber swollen. I don't want that to happen, so I'm just gonna kind of put a little bit in here, and as well as here, maybe a little bit more. Didn't put enough, so just kind of rub that in there. Hopefully this will be a little easier to put in. Yep, there we go. So much easier. Let's do that on the other side. There we go. There, looks good. Now let's put these on the car and hopefully no issues. I'm just gonna transfer this rubber into the new one. I'm just gonna try to clean this up a little bit. So here's the rear rotor compared to the old one. As you can see, that is extremely bad. So this is the rubber piece that I took out from that rotor, and I'm just gonna put it into this slot right here. If you guys don't know what this is for, just open that up, use a flathead, go through the hole, and adjust the e-brakes. This gear looking thing, and you just gotta keep turning and turning to adjust, I guess, like to tighten or loosen up the e-brakes. So these are the e-brakes. That's what this this hole is for. Nice. And let's get this new caliper bracket in. All right, now let's put in the pads. Brake pads are in. Now it's time to lube up the new caliper guide pins. Just gonna rub it around, make sure it's all nicely lubricated. And what you want to do is, once you put it in, just keep sliding it back and forth. Just make sure everything in there is nicely lubricated. I'm going to be using this tool to push the piston back in. So now, after it's all pushed in, we can just slide this right on to the caliper bracket, and then we can just tighten it up. All right, finally finished. As you can see, we have the new caliper bracket. I'm probably going to be changing out all of them on all four corners eventually, but for now, this is the one that I actually needed, and everything is good. So I'm going to put the wheels back on, go for a test drive, and see how they feel. I know for sure that it's not going to squeak anymore because we do have new brake pads, new rotors, everything's good. So let's just quickly put everything back. Alright guys, this is another day. By the time I finished, it was all dark, so I couldn't really show you. So I'm out for a little mini short test drive, and I can already tell it's a lot quieter when I brake. There's absolutely no sound, and it stops on a dime. It's like perfect. Yeah, I'm gonna do a short brake test right now, a hard one at that. Oh yeah, some of my stuff just like fell over to the ground. But yeah, it stops really, really good. No sound, no more squeaking, and I feel a lot safer on the road now. So if anything happens, I know I have brakes. So if you guys are looking to do this yourself, I highly recommend it. It is very, very easy. All you need is just a few socket sizes, a wrench, hammer, and a few little minor tools that you can just simply get. It's you'll save yourself a ton of money. I think a shop probably charges like I don't know, it really depends on the type of vehicle. I would assume this shop would charge like 800 or close to even 1,000 for all four corners. I basically paid 150 for all four rotors and brake pads. A slight setback, I had to get a brake caliper, and that cost me 50 bucks, which includes the guide pins and the rubber boots. So I still save a lot of money by doing it myself. So anyways, that is it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed, hope you guys learned something, and we'll see you guys next time.